As you can see within the table, there are steps, frequency, and probability. From these data, we can get the mean, variance, and standard deviation. For mean, basically the frequency is timed with the probability, and so the same as the other data, 6 times 0.4, 5 times 0.33, 1 times 0.06, and when you combine them all, you get 4.71. For the EX squared, it's the same as EX, except the value of EX is timed with the frequency once again. So at the end, we will get 24.51. For variance, by using the formula given, we can get the answer, which is 24.51 minus 4.71 EX squared, which we will get 2.3259. For standard deviation, basically square root the value of variance and you will get 1.5251. For EX, 2 times 0.13 plus with 3 times 0.2 combined with 5 times 0.33 plus 2 times 0.13 plus 3 times 0.2, we will get 3.37. And from the calculation above, 0.26 times 2, 0.6 times 3, 1.65 times 5, 2 times 0.26, 0.6 times 3, combine them all and we will get 12.89. For variance, EX squared is minus by EX squared, which we will get 12.89 minus 3.3337 squared, which result will be 1.5331. For standard deviation, the value, we basically square root the value of variance, which we will end up getting 1.2381.
So for chapter 2, the probability distribution. So I'm going through the Poisson distribution for this topic. This table shows the data of distance, so it is required to find the probability that she met exactly 5 km distance in a day. So the solution is very straightforward and it will be using the Poisson distribution formula, which is P x is equals to exponent negative mean times means power of x and divided by x exponent. And so we put in the value and then the answer will be 0.0952 for 5 days. The mean is multiplied by 5, which is 14.585 km. So it will be the new mean. And then just follow the Poisson distribution formula and put in the value, which is the x is 10 and the mean is 14.585, and we will get the answer of 0.0556. The mean of 2.917 multiplied with 2, and then the new mean is 5.834. So from that we use the Poisson distribution formula, which is Px is equal and more than 1. Then we get the 1 minus Px equal to 0, and we put in the value and we get the answer of 0.9970. So for the standard deviation, for Poisson distribution, the variance is given by variance is equals to mean. So to find the standard deviation, the value of mean will be square rooted. So this is the mean 2.917 square root, and we'll get the answer of 1.708.
My name is Nur Magdalene Zizi binti Tawang. As for the chapter 3, which is sampling distributions applications, I decided to choose total calories burned as the data. The questions is, one experiment has been conducted involving a student's daily fitness by tracking the total calories burned within 30 days. All of the calorie data is recorded using Apple's Fitness Plus apps. The random variable x represented the frequency of range total calorie burns per day has the following probability distributions. The first question is to find population's means and variables. The answer of the population's means is 0.96. The answer of variance is 5.36. And the standard deviations is 2.3152. As the second question is to find the sample means and the variance for random samples of 1255 calories. The first step is the means of the sample means is equals to 0.96. The second step is standard deviations of the sample means is 0.4227. The last question, calculate the probability if the average calories in 21 days will be less than 1.5. Step 3 is the distributions in normal distributions is simple means and 0.5 bracket 0.4227 square. The last step is to find the probability of the simple mean. The answer is P bracket Z less than or equal 1.28. We have to refer to the table 3. So the final answer is 0.1003. Here is the graph of the final answer is shaded at the left.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Rana Jaha, metric number CN210385. So in this video, I'll explain about the estimation application which is on chapter 4. So there are a few subtopics for this chapter, but I will only explain on the confidence interval for single mean. So in this case study, we have collected a few data in a fitness app tracker, which also included the daily walking distance of student in November 2022. So firstly, the questions show that we need to find the mean, variance and standard deviation using a specific formula given. So as a result, the value of mean is 2.917, variance 5.053 and standard deviation 2.248. Okay, next, there is a collected data of walking distance for a student in 30 days. So stated there, with standard deviation 2.25, we have to determine the 95% confidence interval for estimating the population mean. So the first step is we have to take out all the information given, and by using the formula of confidence interval for single mean, which is x bar plus minus z a divided by 2 times by s over square root n, we will get the result 2.1148 and 3.725. So as a conclusion, based on the sample data, a range of population mean of daily distance walking of student A in November is between 2.1148 km and 3.725 km.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azmi. I'll be presenting chapter 5 and chapter 6. So this chapter 5 is hypothesis testing. So these are the total calories burned in November 2022 for Magdalene daily fitness. So from the table, I get the sample mean, variance, and the standard deviation. So this is the question that came up for chapter 5. A random sample of calories burned by Magdalene was taken in 30 days in November 2022 during this month. An average of the calories was burned was 1317 kcal per day with a standard deviation of 74.18 kcal. By using 0.05 level of significance, test the hypothesis if the calories burned in the next month is greater than 1200 kcal. So the solution for this question I successfully built. So this is for the chapter 6, simple linear regression. So this is the table, the distance and flight climb. Flight climb means a flight of stair is counted as approximately 10 feet, 3 meters of elevation gain, approximately 60 steps, traveled by Magdalene in 15 days of November 2022. For step A, draw and label the x-axis and y-axis. So for B, find the regression line using the least square method, interpret the result. C, predict the flight climb in December which reached 7 numbers of flight climbed daily. D, find the coefficient of determination. Also D, find the coefficient of Pearson. Thank you.